Welcome to Wake Up Sierra Leone on AYV TV and also on radio on FM 101.7. I am Bokari Matia.
And I am Alimati Judge. Whether you're watching or listening to us from the provinces or in the capital city on Channel 33, or on DSTV Channel 399 from across Africa, you're most welcome.
But of course, you can also watch us online from around the world on this beautiful and joyous day, the 10th day of August 2026. We're counting down with barely 4 months to the end of the year 2026.
We're broadcasting live from the top of Tower Hill in the heart of the city. Send us your comments through our socials on AYV News Facebook page and the stories that we cover this morning.
Now, talking of the stories we're covering here this morning, coming up, Citizens Advocacy Network CAN announces plans for a peaceful protest in Freetown to protest Parliament's recent handling of the constitutional amendment. We shall be discussing the move.
A total 1,927 results from the 2026 National Primary School Examination MPSE were withheld over examination malpractices, irregularities, and the failure of schools to submit continuous assessment scores. We shall evaluate the basic education sector. And
Bishop Archibald Cole, General Overseer, New Life Ministries International, speaks on his open letter titled A Godly and Cautionary Advice to the Government and People of Sierra Leone on Constitutional Reform, Electoral Reform, and the Preservation of National Unity.
But before that, let's get a quick message from our sponsors, the Kirk Commercial Bank and other advertisers. And we shall be right back with you. Please stay with us.
More and more people are using Wakeup SIM Copper Plus in their everyday lives. Did you hear that? She just transferred money for her daughter's school fees. And this man just paid for some products. Ah, Mr. Abu, are you sending money to your wife again?
Yes, like Wakeup SIM Copper.
Ah.
Yes, like having money in my pocket.
Ah, excellent.
Thank you.
He just bought some eggs. The world is digital, so keep up with the times. Have you got a payment to make? If so, just download Wakeup SIM Copper Plus now. You can download the Wakeup SIM Copper Plus app from Apple iStore and iPad or Google Play Store for Android users. You see, it's fast, safe, and reliable.
Morning. Ria, give me 30 Leone top up. Thank you. Hello, babe. How you dey do? Talk to Guba.
Hello? Hello?
Don't settle for a provider that cuts into your data and airtime.
Ria, give me all the 30 Leones.
AfriCell gives you full value. AfriCell, now we network.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I can take money, 2 MoneyGram.
Welcome our PC Foreign Exchange Bureau head office. Sit down.
Thank you.
You can write them.
Waiting that mean?
Where you can take money to MoneyGram Ria Western Union at any PC and Son shop, including the head office. You dey get 1% cashback instant.
Eh?
Yes, ma. You not tap deal. Every Thursday we can collect money. Now 59 Wellington Street, you say you dey showing at the head office for the foreign exchange. You dey get 1% of that money you can collect plus additional gifts.
Wow! You mean say for me 1% I dey get gifts?
Yes, ma.
Waiting at the gifts.
You dey get gifts like 5 kg paddy jasmine rice. You dey get gifts like paddy oil, paddy milk, paddy mayonnaise, and plenty other paddy things then.
Una, thank you.
You're welcome. And now you can call can only go give you an the lucky win and see what you will win yourself.
Wait till you dey wait. No miss out on the Thursday special.
BC Foreign Exchange Bureau, the 1% the game plus Thursday special.
days again. It's been a very crazy day. The joyous feeling in the air when rain falls on a sunny day.
Happy, yeah. Let the stars, let the roll.
Enjoy life's little pleasures with Maltina. Maltina. Share happiness.
As mama, I always want waiting best for me picking them, especially when it comes up waiting them for eat and drink. Now this make I always they choose Sarah juice because they make come from with local foods them and nutritious and it gets less sugar than the other drinks them. Not to me say so.
We lab test show say Sierra juice gets 50% less sugar than the other drinks them na the market.
Because we mama they know waiting best for we picking them, now you make we always they choose Sierra juice. Sierra juice is nutritious, it's healthy and it's sweet. Sierra juice, not the taste of Salone.
Fellow Sierra Leoneans, on 8th August 2024, Statutory Instrument Number 8 of 2024 regarding the conduct of nationwide population and housing census was successfully laid in Parliament. On 29th August 2024, this statutory instrument became effective following 21 days from its laying. Therefore, in line with the decennial census calendar, I am pleased to announce that my government will conduct a nationwide population and housing census.
It's 2026, we dey get with census. Make all man tell him fambulem, and we responsibility for bring development. Make all man tell him fambulem. From the east to the west, blah blah blah. From the north to the south, blah blah. No matter how you dare or you try, blah blah blah. Motoka, mama or papa, blah blah blah. One pikin or grandpa, blah blah blah. Auntie or uncle, blah blah blah. Motibe, let it come to you. Yeah, one people, one nation. Let it come to you. Yeah, now we know back up in Salone. Let it come to you. Yeah, no person say you not here. Let it come to you. Let it come to you.
I'm a papa. Make we come together now. Brother, sister, nothing say you no matter, no. No left behind, no. This now you 10 for. Can join the census. Salon now we on.
Okay, well, show me your name. Show me your address. For make you go join now the plan. The census go make you get the access. For make you go vote now this land. Let the all you. If you don't want to make them country again, make them creep you. Cause this time you're Salon for us.
See what you been a second cabo aduo. We bring good news, Salon people here. Census don't come again. We ready for contact, Sky from the young to the old. Say the census go help make development day. Allow me then continue until you know go pay. It go help plan more schools, hospital and light, even water for you community. Who say you there?
Let it come to you. Yeah, one people, one nation. Let it come to you. Yeah, now we know back up in Salone. Let it come to you. Yeah, no person say you not here. Let it come to you. Yeah, let it come to you.
Census they come, the other we cooperate. Tell mama and papa, then get for country all, the make we all ready. Census go help for make we know we serve, and who's we stand. If you claim say you love Salone, who's a development day, na day you for day.
Yambo tegina, mimbo tegina, mingo te teke biambe. Ka 2026 census na me right, census na you right. Family. Imagine if they count everybody, they left you out.
Amulemba kotumobawa, upoka kufuni sagbele tuwa. Tonya, ye amubuji hule panda. Wabulo letabo bawa baya ganga. Ye tumubawa mudagbe behave. Comment ya go salon bate mukeleva. Nabi ina na metsa bawana. Do mama kome kolabo ganya delega ina.
Kakotone dim ding dang, dim ding dang, dim ding dang. Katsap katsa tingang kape katsa konkel, kape katsa panganda yer. Abagato bagats, aindo kor, akalene, samo jamu, agatsamu, sarentamu. Donye, mama maritaka ngonsu.
Amiya timi wandi, timi wandi. Amiya timi wandi, timi wandi. Mwakongo tami wandi, ungewa menda milwena wo. Ya kongo tabi wandi, ungeba handa bebe holo.
From this to west, blama blama. From the north to the south, blama. No matter how you dare or you try, blama blama. You want to go, mama or papa, blama blama. One picking on grandpa, blama blama. Auntie or uncle, blama blama. Motibe, may they call you, yeah. One people, one nation, may they call you, yeah. Now we know back up in salon, may they call you, yeah. No person say you not here, may they call you, yeah. May they call you, yeah.
Here's how to update your details for Salon Payment Switch with AfriMoney. Dial *161#. Select option 1. Go to option 4 for Salon Payment Switch. Select option 2 for account registration. Select 1 to register your alias. You will receive an SMS with a WhatsApp link. Tap the link and provide a valid ID card and your last 5 transactions. Someone will help you update your accounts. AfriMoney, quick and easy. Download and register My AfriCell Sierra Leone new app today and enjoy 1 GB data for free. Valid for 3 days only. To download the app, scan the QR code or download it directly from Google Play Store or App Store. Download now and get the My AfriCell Sierra Leone new app features. For more info, call 111.
More and more people are using Wakeup SIM Copper Plus in their everyday lives. Did you hear that? She just transferred money for her daughter's school fees. And this man just paid for some products. Ah, Mr. Abu, are you sending money to your wife again?
Yes, like a Wakeup SIM couple.
Ah.
Yes, like having money in my pocket.
Ah, excellent.
Thank you.
He just bought some eggs.
The world is digital, so keep up with the times. Have you got a payment to make? If so, just download Wakeup SIM Copper Plus now.
You can download the Wakeup SIM Copper Plus app from Apple iStore and iPad or Google Play Store for Android users.
You see, it's fast, safe, and reliable.
Welcome back. A quick reminder, this is Wake Up Sierra Leone on AYV television and radio here in Freetown. Now, aphrodisiacs and sexual enhancement products have been around in Sierra Leone for years. But the way they are sold is changing. Products once associated with discreet purchases are now increasingly being advertised openly, including on social media. What was once a quiet transaction can now be a WhatsApp status, a price, and a delivery number. So who is using these products? What is in them? And what does the evidence tell us? Mariam Atomi has answers to this piece, and it was filmed by Daniel Fobi and Emmanuel Cisse. She now reports in this special edition. Viewers' discretion is advised for some explicit images.
I get one for manually function proper, for the function proper, I get her.
A product photograph, a phone number, and increasingly a social media advertisement. For some sellers of sexual enhancement products in Freetown, reaching customers no longer requires a quiet conversation behind the shop counter. Products with names such as Coco Samba and Oga Beg have featured in discussions around sexual stimulation and enhancement. And then there are what they call love potions, products marketed with names such as Dua Saise and Marry Me. The names may bring a smile, but behind the marketing is a growing conversation about sexual health and consumer safety. Baki Matia, a woman with over 35 years experience in the business, sheds light.
The man progress so get so man they say first they say a woman no get born with first and the man no get. I get a man say way they mix with picnic, for that is pan fertilized, so go for gebele. I get the woman go for cleaning house, the woman for clean, they infection business, one for born, and they go down they keep on. But through the medicine way they use, believe God will help you. Because I live all and from God.
There's now local research to put some numbers behind the conversation. A recent study in the Journal of Ethnobiology and Ethnomedicine shows that 422 people in urban informal communities in Freetown found that 74.4% reported using herbal products as sexual stimulants. The study found men were significantly more likely than women to report such use. Coco Samba was reported by 49.8% of participants for sexual stimulation, followed by Bitterroot at 47.4%. The researchers also found that 87.4% of participants considered herbal products natural and safe, but natural does not necessarily mean risk-free.
From the urological point of view, we are having so many cases of a penile fracture. That meaning that there is a fracture of the penis, which people will be wondering, how can a penis be fractured? It can be fractured just like a bone. So the use of aphrodisiacs basically can increase the blood flow. It has substances that increases the blood flow to the penis, and as a result of that, the penis becomes turgid. So as a result of that, during intercourse, during penetration, the man can mistakenly miss his targets, and this can cause a fracture of the penis. And as a result of this is a surgical emergency that needs surgery. In the whole country, we just have few urologists. So just imagine this happen in the provinces where there is no urologist or no urological experts that can solve this problem, and this is an emergency. This patient needs to be taken to Freetown and be explored. And some of the complications of this surgery also can be erectile dysfunction. The man cannot be able to erect after the surgery. That is a complication of this surgery. So these drugs are harmful, and we are advising people not to go into it as there are so many complications. This is just the urological aspect of it.
In February 2024, Sierra Leone's Pharmacy Board warned the public against Coco Samba, Oga Beg, Oli Coco Axin Bitters, and Good Time Natural Herbal Formula. Laboratory analysis found sildenafil citrate in the product, including 193 milligrams in each bottle of Coco Samba.
Yes, like the aged people,
then we'll prescribe for medication which contains sildenafil for letting boost erection. And let we say somebody they can do sexual activities. For man, when you don't go your first round, you don't release. It takes some time for let you build up sperm again for release. So if you take any drug where they go interrupt the rhythm of the heart, then there will be effects at the end of the day. But I don't think say your man with physically fit and healthy gets any right for let it take out.
These products may not be new, but the marketplaces are changing. A purchase that once required widespread conversation can now begin with a social media post and in some cases end with a delivery.
For some Freetown residents, the open sale is simply a commercial activity. Others, however, question the health claims circulating online and whether consumers fully understand what they are purchasing.
Many things say that they ruin their life. Because anything much about we did by stage. The stage we said we don't do. If you don't take anything that you young one, you young boy. I don't think say what don't own like a show, I will check out.
It depends on the individual where you go meet for make the medication for you. Because like Freetown, so everybody they pay rent. So all man sabi. If you not sabi safe, you go meet a normal asabi. But if you go meet the right person, and God put in blessing, because God tell in the Bible say the leaves now for food and medication.
There is no established scientific evidence that a product can guarantee that another person will fall in love.
If you say, for example, if you 50 man by, certain 10 will say, you know, I bet say, but almost 40, they say, we sell every day, man. Unless if the day will link only.
The market has moved from whispers and transactions to public advertising. For sellers, social media has created another route to customers. For customers, it has made access more convenient. And for health professionals and regulators, the growing visibility reinforces the need for accurate information, proper labeling, and responsible advertising. The shift is clear. Aphrodisiacs are no longer a behind-the-counter conversation. They're now part of public and digital marketplace. And in that marketplace, informed choices and consumer safety matter as much as the promises on the label. Maria Matomi, AYV News, Freetown.
Many thanks to you, Maria Matomi, for that report. Well, now we return to our main studios. In our first conversation, the Citizens Advocacy Network can.
Apologies, I think we have another stories.
Oh, we do?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. So power has changed hands at Sierra Leone's fifth most powerful office, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. President Julius Maada Bio has withdrawn part of his executive team, moving Timothy Musakaba out of the Foreign Affairs docket after 3 years and installing Mohamed Ramanswari in his place. AYV's governance reporter, Emmanuel Niakemomo, was at the handover ceremony earlier. He now reports with footage by Daniel Fobi.
I'm here today to say this chapter is coming to an end. I'm moving to another space, and I'm very optimistic that the God who brought me here shall walk with me.
A tenure that began in 2023, steering Freetown's ties abroad, including a spell chairing ECOWAS Authority of Heads of State, has now drawn to a close. Kaba departs for an advisory post at State House, while Swari, previously at the helm of the Information and the Labour Ministries, inherits the brief.
As a ministry and as a people, Mr. Rado is coming to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to advance the Sierra foreign policy and to consolidate and build on what we have attained together as a ministry and as a country. As Minister of Foreign Affairs, I had the privilege, after 53 years of Sierra Leone's absence in the UN Security Council, to serve as the Minister of Foreign Affairs, chairing 2 rotational presidencies of our country in the UN Security Council. Similarly, under my leadership as Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, I worked under the directives of His Excellency, the President, to break 50 years days of ECOWAS's existence, with Sierra Leone never chairing the authority of ECOWAS heads of state and government. We had an overwhelming election of President Bio, which made President Bio the chair of ECOWAS's authority of heads of state and government for the period 2025-2026. And also, as foreign minister, I had the distinct honor of getting Sierra Leone elected 2 consecutive times to the African Union Peace and Security Council.
Currently, there is a visa ban on citizens by the United States of America. Would the new leadership under Minister Mohamed Rahman Sware tackle some of these challenges?
This is still service to nation. I will come into it with neck and shoulders ready to take on the challenges as best as we could. Again, I want to reiterate my appreciation to His Excellency, President Bio, for giving me this challenge. I pray for God's grace, guidance, and direction. Because these are very, the world is in flux, like he mentioned. Like the President will always say, democracy is in recession. Times are challenging and an emerging global order. But that is why we have to consult. That is why we have somebody like him to help us check the cause. I will take here, and I come here with benefits, so much benefit. All of the other foreign ministers who have served in this administration will be at my beck and call. I'm sure they are all graciously, consented to support me. So I don't have any excuses not to be better than them. They may not have had too many people to consult, but I have all of them.
There are already unfinished business. For instance, transnational organized crime, insecurity within the sub-region. Is this new leadership, for example, able to tackle these challenges?
These are important gains. They provide a strong foundation on which we must build. My task is therefore not to start afresh, but to consolidate these achievements, deepen our partnerships, and take Sierra Leone's diplomacy to the next higher level.
Excellency, the handing over is well loaded with relevant information that will be important for your stewardship. You're coming to the ministry at a very important time, at a time when the world is itself very upended, insecurity in our sub-region, not least coup d'etats, unconstitutional takeover of government, the effect of climate change, insecurity, violent extremism. All of these challenges have fraught our sub-region. But I have no doubt with the chief diplomat, His Excellency the President, who is himself a scholar of international relations, with you, coming with an atlas of experience to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, our country will be able to navigate through those very difficult territories.
Reaction on the streets is split. Some call it a demotion, others a reward for loyalty. Either way, the Act number 6 of the 1991 Constitution leaves the calculus to one man, the president, who appoints with subject to approval by Parliament. Some people say Parliament merely ratifies. Emmanuel Nyakemomo, AYV News, Freetown.
All right, many thanks to Emmanuel Nyakemomo there. Indeed, a good piece, Alimatu, looking at the reshuffle.
I know. And I think I like the chemistry between the two, the outgoing and incoming. They seem very cool.
And I'm glad, among the pressing issues, that should be discussed, as mentioned in the piece there, it's the visa ban issue, for Sierra Leoneans, to the United States of America.
Yeah, that's very important. Yeah. Okay. Too many people are actually
and everyone is affected. That's the thing.
Yes.
Even students. Some people who had, letters offered, who had their monies, to go to the United States to, learn for their masters or even, postgraduate and doctorate programs can't go.
And it's my understanding that it also affected people that won the diversity visa lottery.
Yeah, everyone.
So that's really serious.
So, I have a colleague who says, all they deny.
So we all go see all team together.
It's sad, but I think we should have discussions around that. I think we've had the U.S. Embassy's response. I think our government needs to be proactive to ensure that we're on the right side of, the immigration policy of the United States of America. But also we saw the story on the aphrodisiac.
Look, you seem very interested in this.
Yes. And there are so many products.
What seemed like been advertising, that's what I would say.
Is men on the because if it's a thing that people will call enhancement, sprays, paste.
I think it only started like people are public. So I think it has been for the longest time to get it back. But I think what now is the fact that adverts for this thing market having access. I don't know if we should be.
And we've come a long way. So,
Booker, you know the need.
Nice. At the time. Yeah, really? And it's hard to take him off.
But if it's banned, then it means it's illegal.
Oh yes. So, and most of these drugs, do not go through. To my first question.
Earlier on,
performing anymore, expecting.
I think that's what it is about. I've with social media on all the things, so high expectations. People are just delusional because they do not understand that some of the things they see, some of the things
It's getting them off. But anyway, you still watch Wake Up Sierra Leone on AYV television. Let's take a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, we're going to our first segment of the show.
More and more people are using Wakeup SIM Copper Plus in their everyday lives. Did you hear that? She just transferred money for her daughter's school fees. And this man just paid for some products. Mr. Abu, are you sending money to your wife again?
Yes, like a Wakeup SIM couple. Yes, like having money in my pocket.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You can write them.
Wetin that mean?
Where you can take money through MoneyGram or Western Union at any PC and Son shop, including the head office. You dey get 1% cashback instant. Yes, ma. You not tap deal. Every Thursday we can collect money. Now 59 Wellington Street. You say you dey showing at the head office for the foreign exchange. You dey get 1% of that money you can collect plus additional gifts.
Wow! You mean say for me 1% I dey get gifts?
Yes, ma.
Wetin na the gift?
You dey get gifts like 5 kg paddy jasmine rice. You dey get gifts like paddy oil, paddy milk, paddy mayonnaise, and plenty other paddy things them.
Una thank you.
You're welcome. And now you can call Kangoli go give you an lucky win and see what you go win you say.
Wait till you dey wait. No miss out on the Thursday special.
BC Foreign Exchange Bureau, the 1% the game, plus Thursday special.
Feels good to see your face again. It's been a very crazy day. The joyous feeling in the air when rain falls on a sunny day.
Happy, yeah. Let the stars, let the roll.
Enjoy life's little pleasures with Maltina. Maltina. Share happiness.
As mama, I always want waiting best for me picking them, especially when it comes out waiting them for eat and drink. Now this make I always they choose Sarah juice because they make them from with local foods them and nutritious and it gets less sugar than the other drinks them. Not to me say so.
We lab test show say Sierra juice gets 50% less sugar than the other drinks them na the market.
Because we mama they know waiting best for we picking them, now you make we always they choose Sierra juice. Sierra juice is nutritious, it's healthy and it's sweet. Sierra juice, not the taste of Salome.
Fellow Sierra Leoneans,
Okay.
Watching a white now let's start education. And the fifth
during analysis having
so this basic and Edmond advocate champion why not on
who are at worst level, and now it has gone down to MPSC. And it's a very serious challenge. If you want to damage the development of any country, it's the education sector. You damage it, the whole country cannot make any development. And I'm very much concerned and disappointed at these MPSC results that are withheld. But I will tell you, I am the roaming inspector for WAEC when the exams are going on. When I went to some centers during the MPSC, it was as if they had picnic. I saw a lot of vehicles, parents, food that they don't normally give to their children, pack them with chicken and oil, everything. And they are also giving those who are invigilators. That is also a recipe for corruption. And this is a serious problem that we have to address as Sierra Leoneans. We really have to address those problems.
It is clear that these children are now suffering as a result of the decisions made by adults. I mean, suspected examination malpractice. I am sitting here, I'm thinking, well, these kids did not enter with, spy materials in those examination halls. And I'm also seeing, failure by schools to submit continuous assessment. This should be the responsibility of schools. Why should children be responsible for the decisions of adults?
Failure to submit is the responsibility of schools, and action needs to be taken. But I am telling you, besides that, a lot of invigilators were assisting the pupils. This is just the beginning of, you are going to see more when the worst results are out. A lot of results are going to be withheld because they are even asking pupils when they are going to take exams to take some amount of money. When I'm going around, I talk to some of these pupils, and even a parent complained to me. It's quite a serious issue now. The education ministry, all of us in Sierra Leoneans, who are pure Sierra Leoneans, who are very patriotic, should work with all bodies to ensure that we minimize examination malpractice. I am saying so because I work at IFAC, the International Final Awards Committee that looks at examination malpractice. And Sierra Leone used to have the least examination malpractice whenever we are looking at it for the West African countries. I'm really, really disappointed. Things are deteriorating, and the worst will be very worse.
Mr. Miu, many people are concerned. So how many of the 1,927 cases involve examination malpractice?
Well, I cannot tell you the amount. It's WAEC that will tell you the number of those who are involved in exam malpractice and those that they did not send cash mark for. It's WAEC that will be in a position to give you those details. You see, but I don't have those details.
So we have, say, kids around the ages of 12, 11, 13, that cannot transition to the next level.
It is really pathetic. It is foundation. Even when you are building a house, they say the foundation has to be strong. And if we are going down to the foundation and damaging it, it's quite a serious issue. An investigation needs to be conducted. The various centers where the kids had exam malpractice that their results are withheld, let them be submitted to the Ministry of Education, and then let action be taken against those centers.
Mr. Miu, it's no longer a secret that these things happen in the open. They're not hiding it. Like you said earlier, you went to some centers, and what you saw, it's nothing to write home about. So why are these people not being stopped? Why does it have to come to this? What is stopping authorities in charge to take action? And now you have kids, children, who, well, most of them don't make decisions for themselves. They're now suffering. They cannot transition to the next level because of something adults did. Why can't these people be stopped? What is stopping the authorities in charge from taking action?
I think they are going to take action. Because
now that the damage has been done?
Yes, but the major thing, I think
the remedy for these children is what is important at the moment. What can we do for these children? Can we go and get an entrance exam for them in certain schools, or can WAEC arrange a special exam for these 1,000 and how many students? You see, I think we need to.
Is that a discussion on the table?
I don't know about it, but this is my own suggestion.
Wow, what is the investigation timeline?
I don't know the investigation timeline. The ministry should work with it. I worked with WAEC, but I don't want to say something that I have no authority to say.
How transparent is this process, Mr. Mew? Because when we talk about WAS, it has been happening for the longest time, and I've never seen anybody get justice. Okay, so I used to know a boy that was very smart, and we all knew he was intelligent, and there was no way that guy should fail the WAS exams. He took the exams in a certain center, and for some reason, his result was not published. Well, the parents tried to reach WAEC, they tried to go, to use the legal means and all, but that was never resolved. He had to take the exams again. So don't you think...
Let me explain to you about that particular
Okay,
case.
all right.
When you have such a case, it means when they know that you are a brilliant candidate, others will come closer to you. Lend me your paper, let me see your paper, you understand? So they will copy all what you have, you understand? So when they are marking the papers, they will see it's almost the same thing you have. It means connivance. And once it is connivance, the results are going to be with
Could it not also be the fact that I know what I'm going to write in the exams because I have studied, and yet you have these rogue elements, I mean the invigilators, whoever is helping these kids do what they're doing, they have the books in front of them. And because I have studied, I'm writing what's in the book. But those who have not studied, they're now being read to, and they're now writing. Why should I suffer for something I didn't do?
Madam,
is that not a possibility, Mr. Mew?
No, one of the possibilities that they have word for word. I have been
verbatim.
A chief examiner, verbatim. Word for word, perhaps the brilliant candidate has done. That is why I'm against this, what we call long bench when they are taking exam. They pass papers to their colleagues. We need to talk about a few things. I will recommend a few things. Okay. Starting in September. If they do it, it will restore the glory of Sierra Leone in the education sector.
What are these things?
I will give you a lot of them. Let us just go. I will give you all what I have in mind.
So can you
start? You want me to start off with it?
Yes.
Number one, they need to have a committee to look into examination malpractice. But let these committees be made of senior people who have served as chief examiners at the West African Examination Council. Two, let teachers who are not on government payroll not be allowed to go and invigilate exams. When they go there, they go on what they call Operation Pay Yourself. Then principals are supposed to be supervisors. When I went for the WAS, a lot of the principals did not participate. They did not participate, and they should be the supervisors for the exams. Another thing I observe from other countries, we need something like even a boarding home in our schools, madam. You go to Ghana, the bulk of the schools are boarding homes. And they even have staff quarters for teachers. Let us look at 3 or 4 schools in Sierra Leone.
Can we afford that? It's quite expensive. These schools in Ghana.
There is competition now in Sierra Leone. Look at schools who celebrated last year and this year. A lot of development they took to their schools. If we say we are going to have boarding home and staff quarters, we have people who are primary stakeholders, who are doing business in certain areas, they could assist. Banks could assist. Insurance companies could assist. I'm following up regularly what is happening in Ghana. I have a station that I look 363. I get all the information, the development that is taking place. I was just telling somebody that even in Ghana, school feeding is also done at secondary schools, not only primary schools. And they have caterers who are giving contracts.
Is it free?
Yes.
Okay.
It's free. If you want to develop children, these are the areas. I was the first country director for school feeding in Sierra Leone. How did I come about that? During Ebola, I was chairman Conference of Principals of Secondary Schools. During that period, I made a lot of suggestions. I worked with UNICEF, I worked with World Bank, I worked with CRS, WFP and all. And by that time, it was almost time for me to go on retirement. Then I informed them. They said, what do you teach? I said, I teach business management and also chief examiner for business management and clerical office duties. They said, we will need you. Anyway, we'll get back to you. It was not after a month or two, I received a letter from State House that I've been appointed director of school feeding. If they have radio teaching program at the ministry, I started it during Ebola. Even AYV, when it used to be at Shaka Stevens Street, during those period, I will go there in the night. You will not see any vehicle moving. I have to go with my driver those period to interview me about what is happening about the Ebola. All the bodies, BBC, Al Jazeera, CNN, they will come even to my house to come and interview me about Ebola. Because I was the chairman for the Conference of Principals. I was part of all the bodies that are taking decisions. We also need, Madam, to ensure that a lot of teachers, as I've emphasized, are not on government payroll. And when they go to invigilate these exams, they call it Operation Pay Yourself. The principals, I'm chairman, Association of Retired Principals. The principals complain to me whenever they have problems. Even up till now, their subsidy for third term has not been paid. I went for Beke to a particular center, and the gate man was telling me, hey, Pa, what are you going to do for me? 4 months now, they have not paid me. When you have somebody who has not worked for, who has not been paid for 4 months, if you go and give that person money to assist somebody, would that person accept the money? These are the areas we need to address. There are a lot of things we can do. I worked with a lot of people. I was most happy when I worked with Alpha Wuri when he was Minister of Education. A lot of things he listened to us. We gave pieces of advice together with Emmanuel Grant. We gave pieces of advice and they listened to us. And those things we implemented, and it was very, very successful. Mm-hmm. But it is very, very difficult, Madam. Even if you take somebody to the Ministry of Education who does not have relevant experience, whether he is from what country or not, who has not got relevant experience even marking at WAEC, I can even tell you, you ask the current head of WAEC for the whole of West Africa, Pateba, he will tell you about me. Gambia, we used to mark their papers here. When I started training them, I used to be at Ocean Bay Hotel in the Gambia. You see, Nangadefa, we tell Sijamarek, I know their language. The country I know more than all of it is Ghana. Ghana is the headquarters of WAEC. You drop me there even at East Legon. You drop me at East Legon. Definitely, I can assure you, I know everywhere. Right. When it was even Ebola, when Sierra Leone needed a special exam for our pupils, it was I who went with somebody from WAEC and presented the case on behalf of Sierra Leone for us to have a special exam.
Let me bring in Edmond. Edmond, you are a children's rights advocate. You know, looking at this from a children's rights perspective, is withholding the result of 1,927 children. Is it a proportionate response to, you know, particularly some of the issues that are raised here that involves, you know, schools failing to submit the CAS scores and then examination malpractice, which again, I'll say it from where I sit, I am finding it difficult to understand how a 10, an 11 or 12-year-old kid can spy in an exam, so is this proportionate, leaving out 1,927 kids?
First of all, I want to thank AYV for hosting us this morning and for hosting the expert. Of course, I've known Mr. Miho since we established his advocacy network, and he has been doing extremely well. Back to the issue on floor. Of course, we have issued out a press statement condemning the what I would say unfortunate action on the violation of the rights of those children. And of course, just like what you said, these are the teachers, the vigilators, they are adults. It is impossible for 9 years, 10 year, 11-year-old child to spy without the consent. Of course, if we have to hold people responsible, it should not be the children. It should be the government, the Ministry of Education should deal with their staff, the people they employ to take care of these children. Those children are victims, and also so on and so forth. And back again to the school who did not send their continuous assessments. Of course, that is negligency on the part of the school, on the part of the ministry. The ministry have a responsibility. For example, we all know how Sierra institution operates. Even in the NGO sector, for example, you apply for funding, and there's a deadline for you to present your report. If you do not present your report, you will not give you funding. So I was expecting the ministry to issue out strong measures, like for instance, say, okay, if you did not give your continuous assessment, we will not give you government subsidy. I guarantee you for sure that those school authority will do everything possible to send in their continuous assessment. Of course, as I said earlier, this is a violation of the Child Rights Act of 2005. It is a violation of the Universal United Nations Convention on the Rights and the Welfare of the Child, and also the African Charter on the Rights of the Welfare of the Child. Those children are innocent, they are vulnerable, and it is very traumatizing for them. This is their first examination, and this is a very, very critical issue. So, of course, I want to commend again the ministry. They have extended, but that extension is not enough. They need to come out again and tell us what they are going to do, the step forward. And of course, now school will reopen by September 9, September 6, or whatever, first or second week September. And we are yet to have a final solution towards this issue. So what I am suggesting, just like what the education experts, I will call him Mr. Miho, have said, is like if we can have examination, I don't know how to say, how to save those children. We can do an examination again. Whilst we do those examinations, we should also consider that those children, they sat these exams since May. Some of them, after examination, they are on holidays now, so we should know how to deal with those children.
Let's look at the general principle, which states that, decisions affecting children should be made with the best interest of the child. When you look at this current, issue, the decisions being made so far, are they being made in the interest of the child?
Of course, they are not being made in the interest of the child. Of course, for instance, you are working for AYV, at AYV now, and I came to AYV, and you said, okay, Edmond, go, do not sit here. I will not sit here. You understand? That is how the vigilator, they are the supervisor. So, like for instance, if they go to they'll tell the children, don't do this, they'll not do this. They are the one that should be all responsible. The government, the Ministry of Education, together with WAEC, should tell us what is the way forward, what they are going to do. Those children should not be punished for the decision of adults. They are the caretaker. They take care of them. I remember when I was in school, when I was a child, we used to debate who is to be blamed for the bad behavior of children. We say school authority and governments. Yeah, they are should be responsible. Of course, the rights of the child also comes with responsibility, and that's rights to study. But even in university, if you have a lecturer that is that will ask, even me, if I am doing my PhD now, they said, okay, Edmund, I want you to spy. I will. That's the reality. So talk less of a child. So government should take drastic action against those invigilators, also against those institutions that fail to send in their continuous assessment.
So Edmund, listening to Mr. Mills' submission, you can clearly tell that this is not going to be a one-off thing. He did say, going forward, it's going to be worse. You know, talking about WAS, talking about the MPSC itself. And I mean, you've both made it clear that these kids are suffering as a result of the actions of adults. So who's protecting these children from the consequences of the actions of the adults? What's the organization doing at the moment beyond just putting out a press release that we condemn this and condemn that?
As an advocacy organization is to engage in advocates. We have engaged with the Ministry of Education, and we are finding a way to chat with WAEC to see how best we can resolve this in the best interest of the children, affected children. Of course, time is not in our favor.
Exactly.
School will reopen. So we just hope that the first part is for us to engage. If they do not engage, then we'll go back to the drawing board and see what action we'll take against. But this issue, there's no way they can blame those children. There's no way those children will be victim. Of course, as an organization, we have a plan. We have, we are even considering of taking WAEC and the Ministry of Education to courts, so the ECOWAS court, to see how best, because they cannot violate the rights of the child, of those children. You know, it's a clear violation of the UNCIC, as I just stated. It's also a clear violation of the African Charter on the Wife and Welfare of the Child. Those children are traumatized. You know, even for children, you know, we have a right to play. Yeah, there are children, if their colleague have this and they don't have it, it will traumatize them, talk less of results.
Who's to be blamed in all of this, Edmund? So I know that even the president himself, the #1 gentleman, did say something about examinations malpractice in one of his...
Roughly around 3 months ago.
So who is to be blamed in all of this?
To blame is government. They do the policy, just like what Mr. Amiro have said. I think I like all of his recommendation, like they should not allow teachers that are not on payroll. Of course, they are not on payroll. Government should put drastic measure to protect this from happening. You know, government will put drastic measure that if you do not submit your continuous assessment, this will what will happen to you.
So in Sierra Leone, clearly we do have enforcement issues, implementation issues. The policies are not the problem, I can assure you. But when it comes to implementing things, when it comes to enforcing these things, then it becomes a problem. Like I said to Mr. Miu earlier, it is obvious that these things are happening in the open. It's no secret. You see people hanging around these examination centers. You see parents with food. You see parents talking to invigilators and the like. Don't we have security officers in these centers? Don't we have authorities from WAEC and other places and the ministry to ensure that these activities don't go on while exams are on in these centers?
Yes, in the area of parents going with food to school, this has been happening. Even when I started NPSC years ago, it happened. You know, that's motivate children. Okay, they are going to another to secondary school, etc.
Don't you think it's part of the problem?
Well, they did it for me, and there was no examination malpractice. What is the problem now is the mass increase of teachers who are not on payroll, and also the mass increase of on integrity people in our educational system, because there are even, I can believe that even teachers who are on payroll can do that. You know, people want money at all costs.
Mr. Miu, are examination invigilators paid enough, you know, within that examination time frame period to not be involved in examination malpractice? Are they
it is not the money, sir. We started working for WAEC. When after you have finished your work, perhaps it will take 3 to 6 months before you are paid, which is not so now. But we were taught that the children in your care, the Latin word for a teacher is illoco parentis. You are the parent of the pupils who are under your care. How you are caring for your biological children, you should care for the children you are teaching. But we don't have such qualities these days. You go to some schools, some teachers don't even have time. When students, pupils, do not do assignments, they ask them to put money into the exercise books when they are coming. They ask pupils for money. The things which have to be stopped when we are starting in September. Compulsory school lesson. I will tell you, people were running after me those days for me to teach their children. President, vice president in Sierra Leone, all the principals, it is I they were running after to teach their children. But they were not forced, you understand? They were not forcing pupils in schools for lesson. If you go to streets on Saturday, you will see the children all in the streets. We are going for Saturday class. I went to Kisi. I saw a small girl carrying a child of about 4 years. I was asking, is this your child? He said, yes, sir. I said, where are you going? He said, we are going for Saturday class. I said, how much is this girl paying? He said, 5 million, sir. It is really sad. In those days when we worked with Alpha Uri, if you are in Saturday class, you should be in school uniform. I don't need to explain what transpired between a pupil and a parent when they met somewhere. The child left on a Saturday that I am going for Saturday class. We need to control of these things. There should not be compulsory school payment for school lesson in government-assisted school and private schools. Let the pupils have the freedom, let the parents have the freedom to go to whatever person they want to teach them. I will tell you the bulk of the principals, they are teachers in their schools. Gilbert Jackson of Girls High School, Mrs. Carpenter of Prince of Wales, the Ashwood people, all of those principals, they send their children to me. Vice President, they all send their children to me for teaching. But now it is compulsory. Every school has lesson that you have to pay. The school may have a good English teacher or may have a good mathematics teacher. It doesn't mean they have a good science or social studies teacher. Leave the parents to go. These are the things government should make statements before the opening of school. And ban this compulsory Saturday lesson. And pupils who go and give money to the teachers are those who have high marks now. I work at Wakeup, I told you I work at IFAC. The CAS and the task mark. The CAS mark is what they are saying they have done. And some of these people, they manufacture these marks. And the person who developed that thing is an American. If you develop it to a certain extent, where the task is not correct, it is low, you understand. You give a high CAS mark, it is going to bring your mark right down. These things have to be very real. We need to teach people. We need seasoned people. Regardless whether you're a doctor, you're a professor or not. The ones who are marking exam, who have reached the rank of chief examiner, there are a lot of things you learn about that.
Mr. Mio, on the part of WAEC, should WAEC be more transparent, about the specific schools and circumstances involved, rather than simply announcing just a national figure to say 1,927 kids? Can it be broken down into data to show
the Ministry of Education will get that details. You ask the Ministry of Education, they will give them the details.
And some of the suggestions you were talking about, whether we could have an exam, for these kids who are now affected. I am concerned if that were to go on, how would that be done if, some of these kids are within the provinces? And they will say
this is the last time, you understand, because this is the very first time it has gone down to MPSC. This is the very first time it has gone down to MPSC. And if that is not corrected, the whole education system is going to collapse, I'm telling you. You said if you want to build a house, it is from the foundation, am I right? If the foundation begins to have problem, it's a serious issue. You have seen many of the houses that collapse, you understand? The foundation is MPSC. We need to take serious and speedy action. I have not heard about any action being taken. And some of these things, when they even form people or form committees to look into these things, they bring their friends who have no wealth of experience. We need people who have been chief examiners or people who have worked at IFAC, International Final Awards Committee. When you have all those experiences, I told you I worked there for 8 years representing Sierra Leone. There are certain work you do at WAEC, it is confidential. I worked at the moderating panel, the panel that draw questions for WAEC. Not even my wife did I inform. Because when you are finished with even questions, there's the document you sign that if there is any leakage, you will go to how many years imprisonment, this and that and so on. You see, but now the quest for money is unwavering. I don't know whether it's because the bulk of many teachers are not on government payroll. I went to the particular prize giving, and somebody said we have 18 teachers not on government payroll. And then another principal seated by me told me, I have 22 teachers who are not on, and some of them have been going without pay for 5 years. How much do they give them? Some give them 300, 400, 500, and now that subsidies have not been paid, they have not gone without money. So what do? They go to the pupils. When you are coming tomorrow, that assignment, inside the book, put the mommy aid inside.
Do you see this issue being solved, quickly? I'm asking because, as Edmund said, we are getting up to September when schools will be open, and if these investigations take months, what should happen to these children who are now affected? Are they going to be allowed provisionally to sit in JSS1? What will happen around that?
The ministry can work with WAEC, with some seasoned people, and they arrive at something. They could look even the people's performance. They will call for their, look at the marks they have been scoring, you understand? And the various schools, they will give authority to even conduct entrance exam for these pupils. And those who are able to make it, they can admit them, you see. But we really need to do a lot.
What's the best case scenario and the worst case scenario in the circumstance for these kids?
My dear, they need exams for them.
How soon will that be?
I don't know. It's the ministry that takes a decision.
How soon would you want it to be?
My dear, I want it latest next week, so that they will get ready to go to school when school reopens in the second week.
You've been in the education sector
all throughout my life.
All throughout your life.
Yes.
Is it possible, looking at this particular situation, of course, you spoke that the ministry, have the data to show, where these kids are. How will that exam be conducted? If the logistics are there now, you probably have kids who are in the provinces, those who are in the capital, across the country.
They will identify the various areas these people are coming from. They could invite them to a meeting and even counsel them, talk to them, so that they will not be depressed, because some of them are very depressed. And some of them will tell you, I'm not going to school anymore. You understand? We need to counsel them. They need good counseling. And that is why I'm very happy. Part of the departments in a school, they have counseling department. Let them counsel these pupils. Talk to them. And then let them, the ministry, come with very strong statement warning teachers starting this September for their involvement in exams. We need to even call people. I know a lot of people do not pay taxes. That is why the ministry find it difficult. As I told you, up to now, this morning, a principal was saying, up till now, they have not paid our subsidy. I told you I went to look at what? The Beke, a school, a gate man, they have not paid me for 4 months. That man has a family. That man has a family. I was listening to somebody, they sent something to my phone yesterday. The man said, before I become a teacher, let me drive Keke or Okada.
Mr. Mayor, as we close now, if one of those 1,927 affected children were sitting here now with us, and if that child asks, what did I do wrong or where did I go wrong, what would you think should be the answer to that child?
The child will not know. That is why they will tell you, what did I do or how did I go wrong? I think it is the vigilators that are responsible for this problem. I think it's the head teachers who are responsible for this problem. They have a deadline for sending continuous assessment mark. When it is time to do all of these things, to bring the cast and the task together, they don't have to wait for, you understand. Disciplinary action has to be taken on those schools. But our major problem I discovered yesterday, I was talking to somebody brought an MPSC result. If you see what the head teacher wrote, but I don't want to tell you what type of school is that. Some of these they call private schools, it's just money making. We need seasoned people. In Ghana, when I worked there, those retired principals, they made them education ambassadors. And they had a right to go to certain schools and inspect. And with their wealth of experience, in the words of Musazi, he wrote Introduction to Educational Administration in Africa. You need people with wealth of experience to go to a school. It is just like a parent. When a parent enters a house, if you are doing certain thing, straight away they understand what is happening. If you have seasoned people to assist the Ministry of Education, it will strengthen the education sector. Right. Our major problem, they just bring any type of person. Perhaps because you have been to this country or been to this country, you understand? You just bring these people to come and assist. Right. They are not assisting, they are damaging the education system.
Edmond, as we round off, what will be your message to parents of these kids who are affected?
Of course, we just want the parents to have a little bit of patience and also call on the government to act promptly. Of course, you asked Mr. Mayo the question, who is to be blamed? And if they ask the children what they should explain, yes, the states and the school authority fail the children, they fail them, and it is their responsibility to tackle this issue, and we hope that they'll tackle it with immediate effect. Just like I said, we need a prompt mechanism for us to tackle this issue, and also in the best interest of the children. If, of course, you know, we are not expecting the children to take every examination again, because again, they took this examination since, you know, I went to a university. There was a time when a particular lecturer, there is an issue of missing grade, and I went to the university and they noticed that, yes, I took the examination. So what they said, instead of us do examination, written examination, we have oral examination where we can engage. I think that will be one recommendation, a faster recommendation. You know, we have to settle this in the best interest of the children. The states fail the children, the school authority fail the children, so we have to tackle this in the best interest of the children. As I said, we are going to engage, we will continue to engage, and if not, then we'll have no option but to take both the government of Sierra Leone to the Ministry of Basic and Primary Education, and also that of Wakeup, for them to protect the rights of those children.
All right, thank you very much. He's Edmond Alimbi for FONA, well-known children's rights advocate and gender equality champion, who is also the executive director of Kids Advocacy Network, and also Mr. Sylvester Mew, veteran educator and public communicator. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us. Let's take a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, we're going to our second segment of the show.
Here's how to update your details for Salon Payment Switch with AfriMoney. Dial *161#. Select option 1. Go to option 4 for Salon Payment Switch. Select option 2 for account registration. Select 1 to register your alias. You will receive an SMS with a WhatsApp link. Tap the link and provide a valid ID card and your last 5 transactions. Someone will help you update your accounts. AfriMoney, quick and easy.
More and more people are using Wakeup SIM Copper Plus in their everyday lives. Did you hear that? She just transferred money for her daughter's school fees. And this is some products. Ah, Mr. Abu, are you sending money to your wife again?
Yes, like Wakeup SIM Copper.
Ah.
Yes, like having money in my pocket.
Ah, excellent.
Thank you.
He just bought some eggs. The world is digital, so keep up with the times. Have you got a payment to make? If so, just download Wakeup SIM Copper Plus now.
You can download the Wakeup SIM Copper Plus app from Apple iStore and iPad or Google Play Store for Android users.
You see, it's fast, safe, and reliable.
Welcome back. You're still watching Wake Up Sierra Leone on AYV television. Now, from one camp to another, from Kids Advocacy Network, let's go over to the Citizens Advocacy Network. CAN has announced plans for a peaceful protest in Freetown on Wednesday, August 26, 2026, to protest Parliament's recent handling of the constitutional amendment. Parliament recently approved changes to the 1991 Constitution, including Section 32 regarding electoral commissioners, sparking widespread debate over whether proper legislative procedures and entrenched clause provisions were bypassed.
The civil society group formally notified the Leone police to register their disapproval and advocate for adherence to constitutional rule of law.
Now, the legislative actions have intensified discussions among legal bodies, opposition figures, and advocacy organizations regarding public participation and due processes in Sierra Leone's governance. This morning, to talk about the planned protest, we have in our studios Thomas Mokonte, Executive Director, Citizens Advocacy Network. Good morning, Mr. Mokonte. Welcome to AYV.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Now, Mr. Mokonte, you're calling this a peaceful protest against Parliament's handling of the constitutional amendment. What exactly did Parliament do that you think is not in the favor of the people of Sierra Leone?
Yes, Citizens Advocacy Network, being a civil society organization with a mandate to protect and defend the ideals of human rights, rule of law, and democratic good governance in Sierra Leone, has followed with keen interest developments in relation to the amendment of the 1991 Constitution. It is no news that that particular process has been characterized by a series of challenges coming from the politicians in Parliament, both sides of the aisle. But as independent observers and as people who have knowledge about the constitutional provisions, you do not need to be a lawyer to read and be able to interpret the Constitution. We believe that the Parliament has not done justice to the provision in respect of the amendment of a Constitution. There is a provision in Section 108 that is clearly spells out the threshold for the passing of a bill in relation to the amendment of a Constitution. Mark you, the Constitution is a sacred document. It is a ground norm. It is a document that we all derive our and respect from. That we look up to when every other sectors have failed, when there are challenges in time, when there are doubts. So if the process of amending it is shrouded, is characterized by antics, hanky-panky, as civil rights activists, we owe a duty to actually make our position clear. Section 108 provides that the amendment of such a constitution, of the Constitution, will require 2/3 majority of Parliament, of parliamentarians. That is very explicit. There is no doubt in it. There is no contention, no controversy in terms of its interpretation. It is only our politicians who are trying to make it appear as if that particular provision is ambiguous. So as citizens, we have heard the cries of the common citizens who are not in parliament, who voted for their representatives. This particular conduct, this particular act of using a simple majority to pass that bill will have a cataclysmic effect on this nation, if not treated now. And as instance where, for instance, a future amendment is to be made to the Constitution, and then we rely on a voice count. And let's say one mischievous parliamentarian closes the door on other parliamentarians from entering the hall. Will that not deny them the opportunity, the right to represent their constituents in making such a very critical decision? And that is why the drafters of the Constitution were very wise when they said that it needs 2/3 majority of the general membership of Parliament. So if, for any reason, that provision of the law is to be circumvented, there are processes and procedures. I mean, if it is to be changed, there are processes and procedures that should be followed, and not to bulldoze, not to use brute force, not to bulldoze their way in doing it.
All right, continue to stay with us, Thomas Moore. Now, still on this issue, joining us on Zoom, we have Bishop Archibald Cole. He's the General Overseer, New Life Ministries International. Bishop Cole is on Zoom to talk about his open letter titled "A Godly and Cautionary Advice to the Government and the People of Sierra Leone on Constitutional Reform, Electoral Reform, and the Preservation of National Unity." Good morning, Bishop, and welcome to AYV. Bishop, in your letter, you described your intervention as a godly and a cautionary advice. You know, what specifically is this government doing today that you believe requires such a warning from the church? Right, apologies, Bishop. I think we're having issues with the sound. Let's have our technical team, arrange that. We still have Thomas Moore Conte in our studios. Thomas, you've highlighted, what Parliament has gotten wrong. But my question is, calling for a peaceful protest, is this the right way to bring the attention of government that what Parliament is doing is not in the favor of the people? And are you sure you're going to be giving the clearance by the Sierra Leone police to go ahead with this peaceful protest?
We see this question 1,000 times since the letter was sent yesterday. You say, protest is one means through which a citizen or citizens can actually articulate their concerns. It is provided for in our 1991 Constitution, the right to assembly, the freedom of speech. It's protected in our Constitution.
The same Constitution that is under scrutiny now?
Yes, the same Constitution is under scrutiny, but this Constitution is not in slumber. The Constitution is currently alive, kicking. It's in operation. It guarantees citizens the right to protest, to assemble. It's not only the Constitution, and even international human rights instruments provide for protest. Protests are essential in a democracy. Protest is an essential component of a democratic system. It is a means through which citizens could actually speak out, could actually air out their views, could actually articulate their aspirations, to the powerful, to their representatives. So there is no gainsaying the fact that this is the right cause.
Will police grant you
the question
the leave?
Whether the police will grant us the leave or will grant us permission? It's a question that has been asked by well-meaning citizens since the day we wrote this letter, and this has been a very serious matter. The fact that people even doubt that police will grant us approval is a very big point for concerning democracy. Because all over the world, in decent democracies, we hear of protests. Even very close to us here, in our backyard, Liberia. Recently, Liberia had a protest where the police granted them covering. They provided them security. We saw police and military personnel giving the protesters water, drinks, food to sustain them and ensure that they protect the protesters and that ensure that nobody infiltrates the protest. So that is what we expect in Sierra Leone. So this is an opportunity that has availed itself to our security personnel, the police in particular. What we are required to do is what we have done. Section 17 of the Public Order Act of 1965 places a duty, a responsibility on a citizen or a group of citizens who intend to undertake a protest or procession to do so by notifying, emphasis mine, only notify the Inspector General of Police. In fact, in the text it is referred as the Commissioner of Police of such an intention, because failure of which will constitute an offense. That is the provision that we have relied on. And we have written a letter to the Inspector General of Police notifying him of our intent to undertake a peaceful procession. And we have given him the dates for the procession, which is the 26th of this month, next week, Wednesday. We are giving him the routes we'll be using. We're having people from Stadium Car Park down to Savage Street, St. John, Shekasirin Street, onto State House, where the president works. We have given him a reason why we intend to undertake this protest. That is sufficient information. What is required of the police in the circumstance is to now coordinate, have a meeting with us, and let us plan the way forward as to how they will provide us with the security so that nobody will infiltrate the protest, because it's going to have, with the protest, we are very, very pretty sure that we're going to have hundreds of thousands of people to come out to air out their disapproval to the president.
In a state where police has come out to say that they can't grant security to a political party elections because of other engagements, in a state where this is not the first time you're calling for protest, you yourself have been arrested before, you know. How sure are you that this current Sierra Leone police administration will grant you, the leave for that peaceful protest? And if they refused, to say, we do not have the personnel, we do not have the means to facilitate your peaceful protests, what will be your next move?
Over time, the police has come on a serious attack for denying citizens their fundamental rights. Let me take you back to history. Sierra Leone was engulfed in a bloody, barbaric war for 11 years. That 11 years war actually caused havoc on Sierra Leoneans that never asked for it. A lot of people, lives were lost, limbs were maimed, children were killed, pregnant women were subjected to surgical processes to see what was in their tummy. Houses were burned. And in the aftermath of the war, international observers who came were very, very much appalled by the disaster that actually took place. And they asked the question, where were the journalists? Where were the civil rights activists? Where were the judges, the lawyers? Where were the right-thinking members of society? Is it the case that nobody could actually come out and speak on these issues? And let me say this, in the Truth and Reconciliation Commission report, the police came out glowingly as one institution that actually fueled the 11 years civil war in this country. The police was used as a tool to undermine, suffocate, and deprive the rights of people of this country. That's the dark chapter of our nation. We believe that we can move past that. And that is why this is an opportunity, a golden opportunity to the police and this government to ensure that they give us the necessary security. We're not asking for approval. Let us be very clear on this. There is no provision of the law that requires us to ask for approval for protest. What we are required to do is to notify the security sector that we intend to protest, give them a clear pathway, which we have done so explicitly. We expect them to do their own side of the bargain. Provide us the security. It's going to be a very peaceful, orderly, and organized protest.
And if they say they can't provide you the security...
If they can't provide us the security, it will be disappointing. It will be a disgrace. If they cannot provide a simple protest security, they are not competent enough to provide security for an entire nation of 9 million people. That should be understood. If the police will come out and tell us that they do not have the manpower, they don't have the resources to provide us security in order for us to have a peaceful and well-organized protest, where nobody will come in and create havoc, rancor, so that we'll march majestically as citizens in our country to the seat of power, State House, to engage our president, the fountain of honor, and appeal to him not to sign that particular bill into law. Because there is a case, there is a looming case of treason. Somebody who tinkers, somebody who alters a provision of the Constitution unduly may be well on the road of committing treason. We don't want the president to be part of it. We don't want him to be complicit. We don't want him to be part of such an offense against the state. He's the fountain of honor. So we have crafted, we have organized ourselves and put together a petition wherein we have detailed reasons why the president should not, under any circumstance, has put his signature to that particular bill, because it is not yet law until the president approves it and makes it law. And that's why we believe that this is one step we can take. It's not a protest to go and destroy anybody, to go and cause havoc. We are going to have our placards, we are going to have our chantings, we are going to be orderly, we are going to rely on the police to provide that security onto State House. We go to State House, have audience with the president, and deliver our petition. I think that is too simple to ask for. That is something that we can ask for in our society. A society that prides itself on respecting human rights, the rule of law, and democratic good governance. It's a shame that citizens have been made to settle for the idea that they cannot protest in their own country. It is dangerous for a country to be governed under such a circumstance where the people hold the view that their views cannot be heard. They cannot take steps, they cannot protest, they cannot air their views in such a decent and lawful manner. So and that is why CAN is providing now this opportunity, not only to the security, the police, but to this government to redeem itself. Mark you, in the letter we wrote, we have copied all international partners. We have copied all embassies and all relevant institutions so that they will be they will be abreast with what is going on. So we hope and we verily believe that the police will do better this time around.
Thomas, I know the Speaker has been under fire in recent times for deciding to use the simple majority in amending the bill in Parliament. But let's look at the Constitution again. This section 108, it has been the most talked about section in the past few weeks. So let's look at section 108 2B. It says, a bill for an act of Parliament under this section shall not be passed by Parliament unless B, the bill is supported on the second and third readings by the votes of not less than 2/3 of the members of Parliament. So I hosted Honorable Givao on Hot Seat the other day, and he was arguing that this section 2B did not in any way make mention of the committee stage. So it only said the second and the third reading. That is where a 2/3 majority is required for the total number of parliamentarians. And according to Honorable Gevao again, he's saying on that eve that bill was debated up to, I think it was 3 a.m. in the morning, it was committed to committee stage by ayes and nays, and the ayes had it that day. So no 2/3 majority of the total number of parliamentarians in Parliament is required on the day that the Speaker decided to use Section 91 to vote and pass the bill. What's your take on that?
That is a legal argument he was making, and I must respect his view. In a democracy, there is provision for dissent. He is a parliamentarian, he's a lawyer, it is well within his rights.
So do you think if we should...
To interpret the Constitution in the manner in which he understands it.
Okay.
But I don't want to go too deep into the constitutional interpretations of that particular provision. Section 108, the provision you read just now, is very explicit, that in amending the Constitution, there needs to be a 2/3 majority, not less than 2/3.
In the second and third reading, according to the Constitution. So you have people who are arguing that the committee stage is different from the second and third reading. So if the Constitution is saying that you're only required, well, they only need 2/3 of the total number of parliamentarians on the second and third reading, and on that particular night, it was actually committed to the committee stage. So they had passed the second and third reading stage, and that was where they voted on ayes and nays, and the ayes had it that night. So when they came back, that was the committee stage. It was not second and third reading. So according to him, the Speaker might be right in what he did.
No, the Speaker cannot be right. The Speaker cannot be right in that particular circumstance, because it is very explicit. That is, you see, one thing I believe is that there is this senior legal practitioner who believes that our Constitution is not a bad document. The 1991 Constitution is not as bad a document as they want us to believe. There is no perfect Constitution in the entire world, I must say. Even the Magna Carta is bereft of certain rights that is to protect. No exception. What we have suffered over time is bad people who interpret the Constitution to suit their convenience. This is the provision that has been used over time for the passing of laws for the amendment of constitutional provisions. Why change it now? Why continue to give it different interpretations when interpretation is so clear as daylight?
Okay, but you know
what they were doing there was within the second and third reading. It was not committee stage yet, according to. In fact, if you listen to Honorable Timbo yesterday on Liberty, is it on Liberty or Truth Media, one of the media houses, he was very clear on that particular argument.
Okay.
That they had not completed the second and third reading stages, and it is within that particular provision that, upon the completion of the first and second and third reading, the Parliament will require a 2/3 majority to pass this law.
Okay.
So we believe that there has been a flagrant disregard for that particular provision, and it was after that provision has been disregarded that we have the Honorable Speaker refer us to Supreme Court. What happened to inquiring before making the ruling? How could you refer us to Supreme Court after ruling? So we believe that there is a serious mix-up with the way and manner in which our politicians interpret these provisions to suit their convenience. And as citizens who read and write, that particular provision is very explicit. We are talking about the amendment of a constitution, the 1991 Constitution. We're not talking about just any document. For God's sake, let us respect the procedures, the processes, and the provisions of the law. So that is our concern. If they cannot respect the provisions of the law, then nobody is safe in the country. If we cannot respect the simple provision of amending the Constitution, then we are not safe. This brute force, this power mentality should actually not be the order of the day. And that is why we are concerned as citizens. And that is where we have come in. We are requesting the police to provide us with security, to march to State House, to express our discontent to the President.
In the circumstance, Thomas, what would your organization consider a satisfactory resolution?
We believe that it's not too late. The presidents, before President Bureau, in fact, have received bills that they have refused to sign. For instance, President Kumar was confronted with this abortion bill, safe abortion bill. Due to outcry of the interreligious council and other institutions, he sat with himself and said, I cannot sign this. I think President Bio also refused to sign a bill that was sent to him.
The safe motherhood bill.
That safe motherhood bill. So if he did it before, he can do it again in the interest of this country. He should not go down record as a president who bulldozes his way, who encourages, who becomes complicit to such outrageous conduct. We believe that this is a state. This is a state that is governed by laws. And him being the fountain of honor, the father of the nation, owes a cosmic duty to hold this country together. And that is why we want to take this step to engage him on that. Because we believe that he may actually provide us that opportunity and will listen eventually. Sierra Leoneans will be shocked to see him actually listen and hearken to the calls of people in respect of not signing this document.
Okay, Thomas, continue to stay with us. We'll be back with you. But now let's join Esther Mai Samoa, our sports presenter, for some sports update.
Good morning, Alima, and good morning to our viewers around the world. With our sports update this morning, Sierra Leone's beach volleyball team have secured gold at the African Volleyball Confederation Youth Competition in Senegal, delivering an outstanding performance on the road to Dakar 2026 Youth Olympic Games. Well, Sierra Leone side produced a commanding display in the final, the feasting West African rivals Ghana in straight set 21-10 and 21-10 to claim the championship title. Here is the report.
The young Sierra Leone squad have continued to demonstrate steady development against some of the continent's strongest youth beach volleyball teams. Sierra Leone have now been crowned the men's under-18 champions of the African Volleyball Youth Development Cup after their comprehensive 2-0 win over
Sorry for that technical itch. Of course, in football also, Star Sports Academy have bounced back with a convincing 2-0 win over Malian side AS Real Bamako in the West African Champions Cup held at the Stadia Balo Madi in Kanka, Guinea. Well, the tournament is serving as a vital preparation for the teams ahead of the CAF Interclubs qualifiers. Well, Star Sports will represent Sierra Leone in the CAF Champions League qualifiers, which will commence in September. And quickly on the international stage, the 2026 Women's African Cup of Nations concluded with a spectacular win as Cameroon were crowned champions on Sunday, 16th August, after defeating Mali 3-0. I want to say congratulations to the indomitable Lionesses for winning their first ever WAFCON competition. But that's all we have time for in sport. Over to you, Alima.
Well, thank you very much, Esther, for that sports update. Back to you, Thomas Moore. You know, a lot of things happened in Parliament that day. We've seen the opposition members of Parliament complain that their invitees were not allowed into the House. And of course, at the end of the day, we saw the opposition members of Parliament walk out of the House. What's your take on that? Do you think that helped the process at all, or could they have done better, or something else that would have helped?
I believe that Parliament is a chamber where people agree to disagree. And that the opposition and the government, the MPs, have over time having that particular platform where they have common ground. And I must state that walking out of parliament is not unique to Sierra Leone. We have other countries with advanced democracies where parliamentarians will walk out if they disagree. I have listened to the reasons why they walked out. In my view, I would have stayed in that parliament. If I were a parliamentarian, I would have stayed in there, expressed my discontent to the entire process, to the hearing of all. Thankfully, there are cameras watching, it's good on record. But they elected to actually walk out, and it is well within their rights. They did not violate any provision of the laws. So all of those particular incidents, everything that characterized the passing of that law creates a messy picture for our country. And that is why Citizens Advocacy Network believes that there is a need for us to correct the wrongs. And there is that opportunity in the hands of the President. President Bio now has the responsibility to engage us in respect of our proposed procession to him. We have never, it has been, I don't remember when last we saw a president come out to engage citizens who have issues, who are disenchanted about a particular situation in the country. Don't we deserve that? Don't we deserve to be treated seriously?
So in an event wherein the president refuses to act on your petition, would we expect to see CAN take the matter to court?
We have a lot of other remedies available to us. We have a legal team that is standby to advise. And whatever they provide, whatever advice they provide will be eventually implemented.
As we round off the month. Go on, finish.
Yes.
Okay, as we round off, if you had the ears of the president for 5 minutes, what would you say to him regarding this?
I would say to Mr. President that we are mindful of the enormity of the responsibility he carries, and that he, as the fountain of honor, must divest himself of political party bias and put this country above all. This country has a huge potential. It's a country blessed by God. We have rich deposits of minerals. We have very good people who are ready to work and support the government.
Thomas.
People require a government that hearkens to their call, that respects them, the basic things provided for them. But with all of these challenges, these debacles, we have a proclivity of setting us aback and reversing the gains we make as a nation. So here is an opportunity for the president to now sit back and look at this bill that has been presented to him and decide not to sign it and take it back to the parliamentarians to be needful. Because history will be very, very harsh if this bill passes and it goes through the president's, and the president's signature is appended in the current state that it is. With all the disagreements and controversies surrounding it.
Thomas, in just 1 minute, what would you say to people who are saying that the Citizens Advocacy Network is creating an unnecessary tension over this constitutional reform issue that Parliament has already approved? What do you say to citizens who believe that this protest which the Citizens Advocacy Network is calling for could actually undermine national stability rather than protect the very constitutional democracy you're talking about?
Let me start with your last question. How on earth will a protest undermine national stability? No, it will not. That is why this protest, unlike other protests, has people that have actually presented themselves as the leaders of this protest. It's not a faceless protest.
Okay.
We have given a clear pathway that we wish to take. We have given reasons why we wish to protest. And we are asking the police for help, to help us with security. it will not in any way undermine national security and stability. And for those who will think that this is just a mere waste of time, it's just a bluff, it's not a bluff. This is a protest that is provided for by the laws. And I will say this, I should be on record, that we are not going to be easy pushovers. We will not be threatened, we will not be subdued. We will ensure that we work within the modest limits of the law, but we will not in any way compromise the interest of the people on the altar of fear and intimidation.
Aren't you afraid that you might be arrested again?
I'm not afraid of being arrested. Let me just say this here very clearly. I'm not afraid of being arrested, particularly when you are arrested for the right cause. I'm not going to be arrested because I stole from any bank or any government agency. I'll not be arrested because I raped or did any other offense, but because I stood up to defend the defenseless, to defend the constitution of our country, and to articulate the wishes and aspirations of the people. If that will lead me to Parliament Road, then so be it. I will go to Parliament Road with a very clear conscience. After all, Parliament Road is meant for human beings and not for animals. I will go to Parliament Road with a clear conscience. So I will not at any point be threatened or be intimidated. And that is why we follow the procedures, we follow the laws, and we believe, we are very hopeful that this time around, government will be receptive to the cries of the people and allow this protest to proceed. Because this protest does not intend to create rancor or mischief, but to engage the fountain of honor at the seat of power, State House. That's why we decided to select State House. We need to go to anybody who goes, we need to go to any market or any place. State House, where are the seat of power, which we built the citizens and entrusted it to President Bio to take care of it for the period under which he is currently. So we will not be intimidated at all. God will be our helper. And with the support of the people, I will assure you that there are millions of Sierra Leoneans who are looking for the opportunity to march to State House and express their views and express their concerns, their disappointment to the president. And they deserve that in a democracy. Pakababi, they say, once they're not going to bush, they will allow the men to talk. And that was a very good thing he did. And that is why this country continues to enjoy peace under his regime. And that is what we expect President Bio to do. This idea of brute force, the idea of intimidation, vilification, is not fashionable. It cannot work. It will have a backlash if they attempt to do that.
All right. Thank you very much. He's Thomas Mokonte. I'm afraid this is all we have time for. This is why we have to end today's edition of Wake Up Sierra Leone. We say many thanks to our key sponsor, Wakeup Commercial Bank, for their support to the program and our other advertisers. And to our audience, we say we appreciate your time for joining us this morning. Until we meet again, I am Bokari Matia.
And I am Elimati Judge. Please stay tuned to AYV throughout the day as we have other exciting programs coming up. Till we meet again tomorrow, take care of yourself. Remember to show kindness always. Do have a pleasant day.